This is a bit of a funky matchup. This is definitely. It has like a little bit of a weird pace to it. Immediately, right off the bat, you see Quark just getting all the space from Trey 5, not giving him any time to pull resources.
Yeah, just immediately getting into their face. And you don't think of Game & Watch as a rushdown character, but they kind of are in this space. They have pretty decent airspeed, all things considered, and the buttons come out relatively fast. You're not really camping them out here. It's on Trey 5 now to make sure that they can deal with this pressure.
For sure, and Trey 5 finally getting a bit of stone for themselves, able to get 38% off of that up tilt and catching that landing. Really, the name of the game against Steve is just making sure he doesn't have enough time to pull iron, making sure he doesn't have enough time to get gold and diamond, and Quark is just going to be there every step of the way, just approaching and breaking space.
Yeah, and if you are going to approach, you're probably going to want to utilize that frame 4 jab. Of course, a little bit quicker if you're gold. It's about as quick as some of the more let's say talked about moves in Game & Watch's kit. I say talked about charitably because, definitely have some more choice words that people have used to describe it. Nevertheless, it's effective. That back air, good little disjoint, going to put Trey 5 in a disadvantage early.
Yeah, that back is so disjointed, just covering so much space. Trey 5, of course, Steve does not have the best out of shield options that can immediately cover that airspace, so Quark is just making the most out of it, able to catch Steve in the cart, takes him off the top with down air, and already sitting at a stock lead at only 65%, and this could be so big. Falling neutral air on PS2, 40%, and the up air just keep on coming. Quark optimized that.
Yeah, immediately Quark. And you got to appreciate Quark for multiple reasons. One, being able to get in on Steve so effectively with this character that can just put up dirt and stop so many of your offensive options coming in. But, oh my gosh, the recovery just running out, and Quark, with the objectively best Game & Watch skin, might I add, is up 3 stocks to 1.
Yeah, this is huge. I don't even think Trey was able to do anything that last stock. Every time that Quark is approaching, he's not only getting a hit, he's getting like 3-4 consecutive juggles with up air, with neutral air. Trey is just not able to really play his game at all right now, just struggling to get anything started.
Yeah, Quark hasn't even suffered triple digits worth of damage yet. The fishing hook, not gonna do it. And there comes the up B. This is the point where you really want to start abusing that thing if you are Game & Watch. You have one of the best out-of-shield options in the game, if not the best. Abuse the hell out of it. But Bucket is gonna reflect back minecart. Yet another thing, and taking another ranged option out of the arsenal of Steve in Minecraft.
Yeah, absolutely. Quark is just really not letting Trey get away with any sort of fake shield pressure right now. Really good high recovery from Trey. That up B has almost no landing lag whatsoever, just able to get back down there. You have to sort of read the next option that comes out. Quark trying to go cover high with up B, was able to catch the get up with F tilt. Wow. What a 3-stock.
Yeah. And what you just saw there, that dash attack, was 80% of Game & Watch's neutral in Smash 4, but yeah, it's taken a little bit more of a backseat in this game. Nevertheless, such a good option for covering ledges, and we're going to see it right here, just how effective it is Quark, so efficient on defense. And what is this game all centered around? Movement. If you miss that ledge, you're going to be punished every single time for it. And Quark, I mean, what can you say about them? They've been just an absolute terror, getting in the face of Trey 5. No chance to establish any sort of dominant position in this one, Dara.
Yeah, I mean, they, in this bracket especially, they took so many big names coming here. I believe Wadi was one of them. They took the set off Wadi. They took it off of Alan Dis. They took it off of Mr. E, actually, in the very first round of, top 64. So they have been through, thick and thin to get to the point, and wow, it really shows. They're able to get so much off of every single little hit. They're able to get every single bit of percent off of those falling neutralers. They got the platform extensions. Quark did not let Trey play this game. So hopefully going into game number 2, Trey is just able to play a little bit more defensively, able to play back a little bit, and just to find those openings around Game & Watch just to be able to execute that game plan, because wow, he was getting shut down.
I mean, yeah, but that's the thing. It was Quark just kind of coming in with the skeleton key and unlocking pretty much every single door that Trey 5 was getting put in their face, and that was, ironically enough, Trey 5 getting Trey stocked in game number 1. It's not the way that you want to start a top 8 berth.
That was
But
cute. That was cute. That was so good. I didn't even notice that for a second.
that's why they pay me the big bucks, Dara. But nevertheless, if so, let's put you in the shoes of this Minecraft Steve named Trey 5. Never mind the fact that you just got 3 stocked.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to get something. What is your in for this one? Because you got to take something positive into this game number 2. Like, do you just wipe the slate clean, or do you really have to microanalyze everything that happened? Because there's got to be something Trey 5 does aside from just picking a bigger stage.
Sure. Picking a bigger stage is definitely going to be part of it. But the biggest thing is when you are considering any stage that you do go on, it's going to be about giving yourself enough room to sort of dash back and punish a lot of Game & Watch's approaches, right? Because the biggest issue of, like, really what happened that entire set, Trey 5 immediately cornered themselves in the beginning. They tried to go pull some resources, and then Quark was just able to take away the stage. They were able to jump in and deal so much damage. So the biggest thing is, like, you have to make some slight adjustments to your positioning. Make sure you're not shoveled all the way in the corner so they have enough space to try to dash back, punish some of Quark's approaches. And then, the other thing is, like, you're going to have to just adjust your game plan a little bit. You're going to have to, prioritize pulling resources a little bit less, try to go to center stage a little bit more, and really catch those jumps from Quark. So not really sure what's going on right now. We could probably check the secret chat logs between those two players. The fact that you said, by the way, Trey Stock is still living in my head rent-free.
What can I say? I mean, I'm. Oh, hang on. Okay. I'm not. I'm not sure if everyone could hear what Devin was saying. They could not. Okay, so we just got a word from the production truck, Devin 3000. It's important news, and you can tell because I was using 2 fingers to hold the earpiece in. Turns out that Quark is restarting their router, so we're going to make sure that nothing was dropping. Everything is on a level playing field so that people can move around properly. So we're going to see how that plays out. And in the meantime, once again, this is just the nature of Wi-Fi. It happens sometimes, but either way, whatever the case is, got a whole night of crazy action ahead of you, ahead of all of us, quite frankly, because we're broadcasting this right along with you. We're just kind of giving voice to the madness, Dara. I mean, it feels a little bit like enabling, but nevertheless, it sure is fun.
Listen, such is the circumstances that we live in. So we just got to make the best of it, and we'll just sit here and wait patiently and bide our time. Guys, remember to keep yourself safe. While we do have a minute, I could just go in with my regular quick little health updates, guys. Number 1, first and foremost, you should be hydrating yourselves. Get Clipped has been going on already for a couple of hours. I hope you guys have a bottle of water next to you, making sure that you're nicely and properly hydrated. If not for yourself, consider your skin, okay? It's really, really good for the quality of your skin. And the second thing is, guys, get up and move around a little bit, and also stretch your hands every now and then. I think a lot of gamers really tend to neglect how important it is to stretch your fingers, to stretch your hands a little bit. You can avoid a lifetime of so many medical complications. Guys, you'll be able to game optimally. And of course, that's what matters in the end. So take care of yourselves. And even if not for yourselves, do it because I care about you.
You know what? That's a valid point, Dara. And yeah, definitely get the wrist exercises going. I know if for those of you who watched wrestling in the mid to late 2000s, you've probably seen CM Punk doing these things. Yeah, break the wrists out, get the finger stretches going. You already know how it is. Make sure that your fingers stay loose on the sticks. And also, while you got your fingers warmed up, why not pull out your Apple phone? Go onto the iOS store, Apple Store, whatever it's called. I have an Android myself, so I gotta wait for the MetaView app just a little bit longer. Y'all on Apple can get it right now, but we're going to talk about that just a little bit later and all the cool stuff that app gives you.
Speaking of what you can get right now, we have another
Yoshi's
game.
Story, game 2. Yeah.
This is a bit of an interesting choice. Really, I think a lot of this actually is because of the fact that Quark can't immediately land onto those top plats with like a full hop or short hop neutral. Not really sure which distance. It's going to make him a little bit difficult to try to extend some of these things, unless he's just that comfortable with it. But once again, Quark has taken no damage. Tries to go all the way with that edge guard, but Trey on top of it with the high recovery right now.
Yeah, just immediately getting after it, and you gotta appreciate what you're seeing from Quark, even after that little bit of a lull in between matches, trying to carry on as they have started out only 6 percentage points worth of damage, trying to read the neutral getup. You gotta love it. Just playing with no fear whatsoever. No reason to respect Trey 5 thus far, and no way.
Wow.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
able to
catching
get
it
it
in
off
the
of
air.
the top platform. Yeah, Quark was just sitting there and ready for it. I mean, the biggest thing is like, you know, Trey, every time that he has attained neutral for himself or has had Quark cornered just for a little bit, we haven't actually seen him be able to apply any significant amount of pressure. Quark was quickly able to reset the situation and turn it favorable for themselves. Ooh, tries to go for the down smash at the ledge, is not able to find it though. And now Trey almost getting a follow-up there, gets the grab nonetheless, probably looking for the block stage spike. Wasn't able to find it, but finally Trey cleaning it up with a very nicely spaced forward.
Yeah, Trey finally getting themselves on the board. I mean, what we've been seeing from Quark thus far has been nothing but absolute dominance. But just like that, Trey 5 able to get themselves a little bit of space. But Quark, you gotta appreciate knowing the value of space, going to utilize one of the bigger aerials in the entire game in that frame 7 neutral air. But the pickaxe comes out. Could be rock bottom for Quark if they're not careful. Trey has met their last stock.
Yeah, this game like just escalated so quickly. And Trey's definitely looking like a lot more comfortable right now. They just need to find a way to land and be able to get the diamond sword up because while it is on deck and definitely a menace, maybe they're gonna be saving it just a little bit longer. Not too sure quite yet. Quark once again just taking that stock off the top. Trey just has been struggling to land for so long, and now having diamond on deck, it's gonna be terrifying.
Nevertheless, a pretty respectable effort thus far from Trey 5. And it's about even in this last game. Far better, far more manageable situation than in game number 1. Trey 5 going to make it back to the ledge, but Chef just kind of getting the better of him. And Trey 5 not able to get back on at all. You're going to run right into down smash. You're not dead, though. Not yet, anyway.
He got down smash at like a suspiciously low percent, but Quark actually extending the hitbox by hitting the crafting table and able to get it with an up smash. Wow, I mean, that was terrifying. What do you do in that position? You know,
that's just how Quark drew it up. You just know it in the back of your mind, Tara. Don't even lie. The crafting table really, oh man, you know what, you live by the crafting table, and sometimes
look
Dara,
at that move.
you die by
Look how active that was. He's just out there for a while. My man was just standing on one leg. I'm surprised he didn't triply fall over at that time.
Man,
GG's, shake my hand.
yeah,
Shake it,
actually
Stu.
no, we do fist bumps now. I mean,
Oh, we do
come on,
fist
we
bumps,
gotta,
yeah.
we gotta be sure that we're staying safe. But nevertheless, also put your mask on. Yoshi Story, game number 3. Quark up by a score of 2-0. However, Trey 5 perhaps feeling a little bit more revitalized. Gonna put that stone block there just for a little bit of posterity. But yeah, this is perhaps a game plan in the cards for Trey 5. And if you're Quark, you gotta respond by keeping the pressure on, right?
Yeah, it's definitely doable for Trey right now. We just saw like a bunch of adaptations that last game. We really started to see him get a lot more stuff started. Right now, Trey, really good stuff, trying to build up those walls to be able to go ahead and go pick through some more resources, but Quark just able to break through it immediately. Gonna be over-committing to the Chef there. Trey just able to jump on top, back to center stage, and get stage control.
And yeah, that's how you live as Steve, exerting that stage control. You have those stone blocks, though, that Game & Watch is going to have to break through, and been doing so relatively well. Going to give themselves just a little bit of space. Again, that back air, so effective. Such a good disjoint. Who'd have thought that you could go hand in hand in combat with a sword with a turtle, Dara? Certainly not I.
I have to say, the way that Trey has been using minecart this game has been so good. He's been releasing it early, catching Quark, shielding a lot of the time. Normally, you know, Steve's grab is so slow, but being able to pressure from a shield like that from a distance is so menacing. Gold-powered minecart, don't sleep on that move. It is fast, and it does way too much knockback for its own good.
Yeah, Quark, I gotta say, seems like they're getting in a little too easily, but Trey 5, nevertheless, with a stock lead. Quark has been pretty decent about getting these stocks back, though. At least it showed from last game. And a little bit more sensibly paced game this time around as the mine shaft is going to be deployed. And there was no top one to ride it through, and certainly no Game & Watch to hit there either, as Quark might just be catching on to the Steve stuff that perhaps is getting deployed a little bit more effectively, and that first stock shows it.
Definitely. Right now, Quark looking to get something started with that falling neutral. Trey was able to punish the attempt to do so, though. Great catch on the landing using Cart. Such a scary place to be, and had Quark opted for, sitting in shield. Trey might have easily gone through the command grab. Whew. The way that Trey's just dominating the stage right now, but up B is going to be able to reset the situation. Quark now getting a couple of juggles in and a bit of damage going.
Yeah, minecart back to the stage, and Chef again, just the bane of Trey 5's existence. However, that pickaxe is going to put Trey 5 in a pretty comfortable position. If you want to make this comeback happen, it has to start here and now. Trey 5 doing good to stay
Great
on the
catch
stage,
on the jump.
Yeah, Quark is doing so good at catching these jumps and these recoveries just in general. That's been consistent since game 1, Dara.
But now the way that Trey is maneuvering around the stage, set up the block so that they could up smash the top platform. That was such clever usage and amazing positioning to boot as well, using the delayed anvil fall by using the breaking of the blocks. Right now Trey's, just showing off a lot of technical prowess and a lot of comfort with their characters, like really specific and niche movement. That command grab is going to send Quark off stage, obviously not going to be able to do any damage. Trey just opts to get a couple of more resources instead of trying to follow up.
And you have time, and certainly when you got the minecart, there is nothing on the tracks for Quark except pain, and that is a 2-stock victory, one that Trey 5 desperately needed. You get yourself a little bit of forward momentum, but then again, when you have something like the minecart, kind of hard not to go fast at a pretty sensible pace. There you go. Just looking for it, fishing for the reaction.
Yep. Minecart was so big. Minecart was so big for Trey this game. The way that they were using it, the way that they were conditioning shield, and really mixing it up with the projectile one that actually ends up grabbing you, and the one where he rides it and tries to get the hit. Trey 5 was just so ambiguous in that unreactable range where you don't have enough time to make a proper decision, right? And you just have to immediately select an option.
Yeah, but you saw that just throwing the pickaxe out there with that, whatever it is, as long as you're throwing some sort of disjoint out there to space yourself out, that's what allows you to go for that minecart to begin with. You're putting the fear into Quark that they simply did not have those first 2 games, and now you're starting to establish yourself, get a little bit of a rhythm going. Trey 5, this is their opportunity to strike and really make this game theirs, because we saw Quark getting in far too easily those first 2 games, and where they were able to even things up if they found themselves behind by just a little bit. What is it that Quark can do? All of a sudden, the opportunities that were there are not anymore. So now you have to create your own luck, and part of that starts with the stage selection here in game 4.
The biggest thing is just sort of trying to find ways to pop Steve above him, right? That's one of Game & Watch's strongest states, being able to effectively juggle somebody. And there it is. We're going to be seeing it again, but Quark actually not going to be getting the full hit of the neutral, or the second one rather. But again, the way that they're catching Trey 5's landings is how they've been dealing so much damage, not letting him play his game. As soon as Trey 5's on the ground, those minecarts just come on out.
Quark being fresh off of a tournament victory the day before. It's you made it all the way to grand finals, beat a villager 3-1, excuse me. You got to be feeling yourself just a little bit, a villager by the name of Mezio. But you got a nice little bit of confidence going into a tournament. Maybe it's not the biggest bracket in the world, but nevertheless, you're feeling good. And hey, you got to be worth something, right? You're in top 8 of this, John. So if you're Trey 5,
it's top
though,
8 at a 500-man tournament. It's huge. This is amazing. Right now, great catch on the landing from Trey, getting a bit of damage going. Just really looking to find ways just to exploit Quark for, always going for landing downers. But he started to really mix up the times that he goes on the platform, and when he doesn't, oh my god, that was so many bounces at once.
Yeah, oh my gosh, just like a pinball machine up in this piece. Ever since they were young boy, played the silver ball, but now it's Trey 5 with a bar of gold in their possession. I don't know if they're going to be utilizing it here. Why would you when
It's
what
so
you
scary.
have is all you need? At 175, Quark finally goes down.
It's actually terrifying, because that is such like a fast move out of the corner. It's so difficult to be able to react to it properly, much less punish it just to avoid the hit. Trey 5 has just been getting enough time, getting iron, and using Quark over and over to get back onto the stage, and Quark has still yet to find like a proper punish for it. In the first and second game, we saw Quark, get a lot of up Bs, get a lot of down airs in that position. I would like to see a return to that. Trey 5, 3-1 stock lead in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give it to them. What they've been able to pull off thus far, gotten into Quark's head just a little bit. These opportunities that were there before just aren't anymore. So now you got to catch these landings. Got to be a little smarter about that. And that down tilt certainly going to give them the launch angle that they need to take that first stock. But Quark needs 2 straight stocks in order to take this set. Dara, what's their key to victory here?
I mean, I really like this just mix up in tempo from Quark, just sort of waiting a little bit, waiting for Trey to be the first one to make the move, but you can't always be guessing right. At this point, Trey 5 has like the ledge trap locked and loaded, tries to commit all the way, and gives Quark the opening to be able to get back on, overcommits to Chef, and just takes a cut to the head. Goodness.
Yeah, you ever get curb checked by a minecart? That hurts. But
it's like a solid thing of metal.
Straight up, that big block of pixelated metal straight to the jaw of Mr. Game & Watch. And now, this is where it happened. You get caught in your buttons.
That's
there's a
the
little
concussion.
bit of
he got a concussion. It's poor guy.
Yeah, straight up. I mean, did not want the food at all. No, I don't want none of the things that you cooked with it. I just want the smoke. And Trey 5 giving it to him. 2 games apiece. Quark does have stage counter pick for game 5, but then again, they had it for game 4 and wasn't able to do a whole lot with it.
Yeah, I mean, Trey 5 just adapted so well, and Quark is starting to respect a couple of buttons, or the way that they're positioning themselves, especially when they're edge guarding, is just that much different to the point that Trey 5 is having more survivability, not losing those stocks. Whew, this is a difficult one. Quark definitely has a handful of adjustments to make, but actually going to be opting for the Greninja, a character with incredible mobility, beautiful disjoints, and a lot of pressure. So this is a character who can definitely break space against Steve.
Yeah, just when you think you have all the answers, Quark changes the questions. You gotta love it. But at the same time, you're giving Trey 5 a lot of space to work with on Town and City. Maybe not as much chance to mine diamonds, who knows? But I feel like there was a song about that at some point. Nevertheless, Quark with the Greninja, if you wanted a zone break, Adara, well, this is Quark giving it to you.
Yeah, this is a character with amazing burst options, safe on shield pressures, drag downs, everything. And right now, Quark is just pillaring Trey all the way to the top last and with those up airs, just dealing so much damage along the way, going with a couple of little momentum shifts by just throwing out a couple of water shurikens, trying to catch Trey 5 lacking, but able to clean it up with an F smash nonetheless.
Yeah, I do kind of find myself wondering at times because being from Philly, I'm pretty familiar with decent Greninja play. We have 10, and actually our number 1, Juice, wound up becoming a Greninja towards the end of offline. But the way that we're seeing this thing play, we never really saw it up against a Steve, at least offline. Kind of makes me wonder how you cope with it. Quark, perhaps, providing an answer there, 2 stocks apiece in this decisive game 5. And yeah, you do have a bit of a zoning tool yourself in that water shuriken, and maybe you're not hitting with the thing, Dara, but you're certainly dictating where Trey 5 does not want to go.
For sure, yeah. Quark has been doing a good job of just zoning that out, but also just using it as like a nice little boost interruption tool. Trey 5 doesn't feel so comfortable going for a lot of the approaches. Quark should still be able to make it back, and yes, they are, but a little bit too greedy off the ledge. Tries to go for the drop down, double jump fair, and Trey 5 was just ready for it and got the whiff punish.
And how efficient was that second stock? That might well be the difference. Star only suffering 9 percentage points worth of damage, and they're not done. They've got a bunch of diamond on their sticks, and they are looking to finish the job here against Quark, who is just getting hit all too often. You rolled right into that, Quark.
Yeah, I mean, for the amount of times that Quark is just getting dash back with punish by Trey, the biggest thing that they can do is either try to make the movement a little bit more ambiguous, jumping in safely and then fading back, or just overshooting even more. Because right now, Trey is he's landing way too many of these, but wow.
Oh, and would you look at that? What started off as so decisively in Quark's favor, all of a sudden this Steve comes up with the forces the character switch. And while Quark was successful in getting those first 2 games, it was this Steve that comes up with the Trey.
Wow. I have to say Trey, kind of killed that game. Just really on top of it, just outplayed Quark. You know, a lot of those dash back punishes was catching on to so many approaches. Just really like it's crazy like how that entire set started with Quark not letting Trey execute his gameplay, not letting him play. That last game, I mean, completely different play. The adjustments and the adaptations that he's made along the way, you know, best of 5 format really suited him. He was just able to incorporate a lot of set play and micro adjustments to his positioning. So really, really good stuff to Trey, meaning that he will be moving on to winners finals, where he'll be fighting the winner of Yosefu going up against Jake. And guys, as a quick little bracket update, we have losers side already filled up. We had Alan Dis and Splitzy on one side of losers. Alan Dis actually took a 3-0 over Splitzy. And then right now we also have happening Shiny Mark, who took it over the Bestness, and currently up 2-0 on Swarus.
You know, it shouldn't shock me because the nature of Wi-Fi is kind of